But first thing I'm going to talk about today is little Kyran. We've been following his case. This case just blows my mind completely. I cannot believe what has happened in this instance, that a little boy should disappear and nobody noticed for 2 years. In this day and age, in Ireland, in a modern society, just crazy, just awful. So we're going to be talking about him first. Then this case of Kyran. Now, this is, honest to God, it's just completely unbelievable. You could not believe that this case was happening, except it is. And it's happening in Ireland, or that's where it sort of started. So let's have a look at an update. Well, let me first tell you what has happened. So little Kyran Durnin, let me get a picture up. I like to get a bigger picture up of him. Every picture I've seen of Kyran, nearly everyone is wearing bloody Spider-Man pajamas or Spider-Man t-shirt. Honest to God, I'm so anti-Spider-Man clothes. I've seen, let's put a picture up of him where he's not wearing Spider-Man clothes. So this is little Kyran. Where is he? He's not been seen for 2 years. He's not been seen for 2 years. The police say he is almost certainly deceased, but they don't know where he is. Nobody seems to know where he is. And the police have searched properties where Kyran's lived and haven't found anything. They've searched the garden, they've searched land nearby, and no trace can be found of this little boy. This little boy has a family, but none of that family reported him missing for 2 years. Just incredible, isn't it? Just defies belief, I think. Hi, Chumba. Just defies belief. But let me read you the story. We'll carry on looking at his picture, I think, and I'll just read out to you what exactly happened. Well, as far as we know, I mean, we don't know what's happened. But there's a definite, there's a lot of anger towards the social services because he was taken out of school. He was known to the social services. And his mother has been tracked down in England. So why is she in England and she's never reported her son missing? Anyway, so let me just read you what it says about it in the Dublin Live. This is that I'm reading from. Whoops. So gardaí, that's the Irish police, sorry, it's flicking me up with adverts. Gardaí have been told that the mother of Kyran Durnin says she does not know what happened to her son. She does not know what's happened to her son. Come on. You don't know what's happened to your son. He's not, 30. I think he was 4 at the time when he went missing, and he would be 6 now if he's still alive. So apparently now Emer Terrace is living in East Anglia, and she's understood to have spoken to police in England. And so apparently the police located because originally both Kyran and his mother were reported missing. In August this year, they were both reported missing. Now, Dela has been found in East Anglia, of all places, in England, and has assured detectives she is safe. But she's not made any form of statement, according to Dublin Live, either formally or informally, about the missing 8-year-old. Oh, so he must have been 6 when he went missing. So your 6-year-old son 6-year-old son who's in your care, by the way. So he's not a 6-year-old son who's living with another parent or with somebody else. He's living in your care, and he disappears and you don't report him missing. So the police are satisfied that the child is dead, but they have no idea exactly when he died. So why are they satisfied that he's dead if they haven't found his little body and they have no idea when he died? I mean, it's a very strange case, isn't it? So all they know so far is he was last seen alive at school in late May or early June in 2022. So over 2 years ago. They have not yet established how long he lived for after that and how and when he died. So a senior police source has said, this case is so complicated and could take at least 6 months, if not longer, to crack. The key people involved are not cooperating. And they said, we've received a large amount of information from the public and we are checking it bit by bit. We do not know how long Kyran lived after he left his school. The family were moving around different locations and we are trying to pinpoint their exact movements. People are saying he went missing, but nobody who was around him will tell us on what date or exactly how it happened. The child may have died as a result of an accident. We do not know, and we can't get any of these answers until we can find the body. A dig at the former family home in Dundalk was inconclusive and detectives found no remains there. However, they did establish that Kyran was not seen with his family at that location in the previous 12 months or so. Detectives are now looking at searching and digging other locations, including a number of houses in the Drogheda area, but no decision has been made whether to proceed or not. So, I mean, it's just unbelievable, isn't it? Really? Unbelievable. This case, I think. Every case we look at is, hi, Rini, hi, Laurie. Every case we look at is, normally sort of crazy, isn't it, one way or another? That's why these cases become high profile. It's really unusual, isn't it, in sort of Western society, in Ireland or England or anywhere like that. It's really unusual for somebody to go missing, a child especially, for a child to go missing and, not only to go missing, but then to not be reported missing. How unusual is that? Anyway, apparently, so it was. I was looking for some updates, and there's not an update in the sense that Kyran has been found, but I just wanted to tell you. The Belfast Live is saying there's been a major update, but the media do say these sort of things to try and get you to read their articles, which of course works, because as soon as I saw that I thought, oh, a major update. So let's see what the Belfast Live has got to say. So major update in mystery surrounding Kyran Durnin as a number of men contact the gardaí in good faith. A number of men. At least 2 of the men were known to missing Kyran's mother, Emer Terrace. Well, she's not missing. So this is supposed to be, this was the 10th of November. This is yesterday. She's not missing. She's been found. She's, they do, God. Sometimes, we know more than they do, more than the mainstream media know. Anyway, according to them, Belfast Live, detectives leading the Kyran Durnin I can't get my words out this morning. Murder probe have eliminated a number of men known to the little boy's family from their investigation. It's understood that each of the men contacted the gardaí, claiming to have no knowledge about the disappearance or death of the missing 8-year-old. And at least 2 of the men were known to missing Kyran's mother, Kyran Durnin. And a Garda source confirmed an unspecified number of men had made contact with them in recent days. And they said, a number of men have been in contact with us to make it clear they knew the family, but not Kyran, and had nothing to do with him going missing, the source said. They each rang in good faith and were very helpful to our inquiries. We are building up a profile of the young lad's life, where he lived and who he met. This is an important part of the whole evidence gathering operation, so that we know as much about the child as possible. The source added, some people have been pointing the finger of blame at these individuals. So I wonder if they were like boyfriends of Kyla's or just friends. And, people have said, oh, well, this was his stepdad, or this person was involved with Kyla. Anyway, the gardaí are saying they are totally innocent and they had nothing to do with Kyran's disappearance. And it's understood that Kyran's biological father had not been involved in the child's life for the last 2 years. Yeah, where is his biological father? They keep going on about the mother. What about this little mite's dad? Why did he not wonder where Kyran was for 2 years? Even if him and Kyla are separated, if there's any sort of a father, he'd want to know where his son was when he hadn't seen him for 2 years. Just feels like nobody cared about this boy. How can a little one like that go missing and nobody knows? So although the young lad was last publicly seen alive at a Dundalk primary school in June 2002, detectives still have no idea when and how he actually died. The Garda source added, there is a big cover-up going on and we are trying to get to the bottom of it. We suspect a handful of people know what happened to Kyran and are saying nothing. These will be his family, part of his family, because the people who know what happened to Kyran, there'll be people who are close to him, won't they? They're not going to be strangers. If she's covered it up that he'd gone missing, she must know there's no mother who, what, you get up one morning, oh yeah, my son's missing. Oh yeah, he's only 6, but he'd be fine. Oh no, I'm not going to report it to the police. She knows something, obviously she does, because if she's not reported him missing, she must know something. And also now I want to know, where is the father, the biological father? Why is he not questioned what had happened to his son? Because even if you'd split up from the mother, and why did they split up? Has he had something to do with it? This boy is somewhere, either alive or dead, and somebody knows exactly where he is and what's happened to him. It's a very, very mysterious case, I think. Very, very mysterious case. The mother must know something. And as I say, we must remember he's got a father as well. It's not all about the mother. Why isn't the father questioned where he's been for 2 years? Poor little thing. And please, any of you out there, don't ever buy Spider-Man things for kids. Oh, God, I'm sick of looking at missing kids or deceased kids with Spider-Man outfits on. Anyway, I know it's ridiculous, but it feels like it's like a bad talisman. It's not, it just feels awful every time you see these boys. I know Spider-Man's a big thing for boys, but gives me the creeps. Anyway, this poor little one. So the Garda source said, "We are hoping their conscience will eventually get the better of them and they will tell the truth." Well, I hope they do. I hope they see this little boy's face every time when they go to sleep at night. And can they live with themselves? They know what's happened. It could have been an accident. It's just that you think if it had been an accident, why cover it up in, why just pretend he doesn't exist anymore? Accidents happen. But is it going to be, was it like a Sarah Sharif type thing? Had he been so badly abused and then maybe he died? Maybe they didn't mean to kill him in that moment, but he died as a result of abuse. And then they didn't want to go to the police because they thought, whatever. So we don't know, do we? Was it an accident? If he is deceased, the police seem convinced he's deceased. Not sure why the police are convinced he's deceased, that apart from the fact, of course, he hasn't been seen, but they've probably got their reasons why they think that as well. Anyway, prayers for the missing young lad were again said around different churches in County Louth on Sunday, and a new appeal for any information in relation to this case was made on the powerful Drogheda Dolls Facebook page. I don't know that. Well, I might have a look at that in a minute. Gardaí have also scrapped for the moment a plan to search and dig a number of houses and locations in the Drogheda area which were connected to the child. And it is understood that if more evidence is uncovered, that decision could change. So at the moment, they're not planning to search anywhere, but they're just waiting. They'll be waiting for somebody to do the right thing, come forward and just say, what has happened to this boy? Now, I'm just going to have a look at that Drogheda Dolls thing. Obviously it's a massive case in Ireland, but I think it deserves coverage everywhere because, well, she's got a connection to England for a start. Oh, it's a private group. Oh, I don't know if I can, I'm going to try and join it. But sometimes it's a private group. So I wouldn't be able to show you. Anything in there, but I could read it out to you. And it's a page for the women in Drogheda and the outskirts of Drogheda. The only thing required to be a member is compassion and respect for each other. So it's like it's like a mum's page. So apparently, they've got a big following. They've got 30,000 members. So apparently, according to that article, they've put an appeal on there. So I've applied to join the group and we'll see if I get accepted or not. Because, of course, I don't live in Drogheda. I just want to see the appeal. But, yeah, so what do we all think about that? It's just high moonbeam. Yeah, Chumbers, yellow. That's what I pointed out before. Yellow, and the other boy was William Tyrrell from Australia, the boy in the Spider-Man pajamas. So yeah. Hi Nightbot. So here's Nightbot just to remind you to subscribe and things like that. Good old Nightbot. But anyway, so it's a very, very strange case. As I say, I wanted to give you a little look. It's not exactly an update because he hasn't been found, but just to show that it's, oh, sorry, Rini, I didn't mean to put that up there. I was going to put the Nightbot thing up. What was I going to say? Yeah. So what do you think about it? And it's incredible. It's impossible that mother does not know what happened, in my opinion. And not only that, I want to know why was his father not been asking about him? And all the family, to be honest, because you know what it's like in a family. Presumably he's got a grandma, a granddad, he's got uncles and aunties. Nobody's reported this child missing for 2 years. You know, I'm thinking, like, if it was my family, you know, and if one of the children went missing, and you know, most of my nieces and nephews, their children are older now, but you know, at the time when they were young, or if my nieces and nephews would have gone missing, can you imagine not inquiring about it? You know, you know, saying to your sister or whatever, you know, oh, where's Kyran? Like, oh, well, you know, you want to know where they were. How can nobody how can nobody have noticed that this little boy's gone missing? And where was his father as well? Why is his father not asking to see him? You know, people shouldn't have kids if they don't care about them. Do you know, there should be a law against that. You know, like, why have children if you don't want to look after them? I mean, all right, the first one maybe you might be a mistake or whatever, and everybody, but then people go on and have more children. Look at Sarah Sharif's family; they've got loads of kids between them. About 7 altogether, you know. And not only that family, lots of families are saying they keep on having children, they can't look after the ones they've got, and then they go on and have more children. Terrible. Anyway, somebody knows. And like you say, the school, I mean, they were under attention of social services, but that makes it even worse. Because why weren't the what did the social services think when he didn't turn up at school? Oh, so apparently the school was told he was in hospital with COVID. Let's have a look at that. I'll see if I can find that article. But they haven't been able to find any record of him being in hospital. So one of the excuses, this was, the school was told, so new and confusing details. Let me share this actually. This was November the 3rd, so this was a little while ago, this article. School was told that the missing pupil was in hospital with COVID-19. New and confusing details about the last missing sightings. Look, he's got another Spider-Man thing on there. New and confusing details about the last known sightings of missing boy Kyran Durnin have emerged, including an alleged 6-week hospital stay in late May and June of 2022. So this is what the school were told? This poor little thing. Gardaí investigating the murder of the child are working to establish a timeline of the boy's last official sightings. The team is now focusing on a critical 6-week period during which Kyran was allegedly receiving hospital treatment for COVID-19. And according to the paper, Kyran's mother, Emer Terrace, contacted her son's primary school in Dundalk in May 2022 and said he would be absent as he had COVID-19 and was in hospital. She did not say when he was back. That boy was dead then. For her to phone the hospital and say that, he was 6 at the time. He'd be absent because he's got COVID and she didn't know when he'd be back. So then that took her up to the summer holidays. That gave her more breathing space. That boy then would have been deceased, wouldn't he? I think. So, yeah, we've got this. So we don't know. But the gardaí, I never know how to pronounce that. The gardaí, as yet, have no records to confirm he was in hospital. So she rang up and said he was in hospital, but there's no records to confirm it. According to the register, oh no, it says he did return to school and he is recorded as attending right up to the last day of term in June 2022. Oh, so mate, he can't have been deceased then. That's odd, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? This mystery. But, oh God, having said that, while Kyran could have been attending school for the last few weeks of term, detectives have been unable to find a witness who can definitively place the child in the school during that time. Kyran could have been attending school for the last few weeks of term, but that has not been established yet. What do you mean? What do you mean? Haven't they got CCTV at the school? Haven't they got CCTV of him being dropped off, picked up? Haven't they got a register? Oh, for God's sake. That's impossible. I can feel swearing coming on. How can they say they're not sure he was either there or he wasn't there? How can you not be sure if a child was at school or not? CCTV, registers, teachers. So what are they saying? That honestly, because according to the register, he did return to school and he's recorded as attending, but they can't find a witness who can place him there. What about the teachers? Oh, so the investigation team are tracking back as much as they can on Kyran's life, and when he comes into contact with any state institution that can verify that he was alive at that time. Well, doesn't never mind. So the official paper trail for Kyran comes to a halt in June when his mother told the school the boy would not be returning in the new term as they were moving to Northern Ireland. Kyran has two younger siblings, and according to the Sunday Independent, the Child and Family Agency, TUSLA, they're getting a lot of stick about it. TUSLA is like the Child Protection Agency in Ireland. They requested a face-to-face meeting with the Durnin family earlier this year. The paper reports that social workers had concerns about the family, although they did not specifically relate to Kyran. So I hope those other children are okay. Where are they now? After several attempts, the first meeting reportedly took place in mid-July, and a second in-person meeting happened in early August. And the boy in attendance at both meetings was believed to be Kyran. Now, there's this thing that some boy went a lot. There was a boy at the guest house that was, they stayed at a guest house, and a little boy went along there, and he was, but I don't think they think it was Kyran, because they think that Kyran has been dead for 2 years. So were they trying to make it look as if this other boy was Kyran? It's crazy, isn't it? It's this poor little boy. So did they use another similar aged little boy to pretend he was Kyran? I don't know. So when Kyran and Dayla were reported missing in late August, TUSLA allegedly alerted the gardaí that the image of Kyran that was being used to help locate him was not the same boy that they had met in the meetings. It is only after the missing person investigation commenced that the investigation team established that Kyran was not Kyran. Oh my God, it's just unbelievable. So this is where we are. We don't know what happened to Kyran. His body's not been found yet. It seems like they were using another child to pretend it was him. Who knows? I suppose, when you think about it, it's like if it's not your child, maybe it is, and you know, a child that's close to you, maybe it is to pass off a similar child as that child. And of course, children, they change quickly, don't they, as they grow older? So, you know, they do quite often look different. You know, if you think of somebody you know and you see them with their child, and then you see them 6 months later, children change quickly, don't they? So it's possible, you know, that somebody might get confused about whether it was Kyran or not. This is high quizzical. This is, you know, it's a real mystery, isn't it? Real, like you say, really bizarre. Well, Laurie, you would think the teacher would know him. You would think so. But, you know, don't forget the teacher hadn't seen him for 6 weeks. Maybe it was a different teacher. You know, so he supposedly have gone, he'd been in hospital, well, I don't know how many weeks with COVID, supposedly. Like, you would hope that a teacher would recognise someone, but I don't know how big these classes are. You know, I just don't know. I mean, like you say, it makes your head hurt. It's beyond belief, really, isn't it? That this little one could have been, well, the gardaí are saying they think he died 2 years ago. So, you know, anyway. So that's where we are with that case. That's where we are. So we will see. Hi, Maria. I think I might have said hello to you before, but I'm not sure. But hi again anyway. So that's what I wanted to tell you. The updates, if you can call it an update. I think we're even more confused than we were before as far as Kyran's concerned, aren't we?